This season is all about the love triangle. What makes it so delicious and juicy and scandalous?
I think it's because each angle of said triangle represents different factors of the show. So family, sisterhood, duty, or position. Another word?
Yeah. And sort of aspiration, like what it is to deliver in that society. But then there's like full-blooded hearts between all three. And it's really complicated and knotted, and the stakes are really high. And
every sort of angle of the triangle makes sense for really different reasons. So like the justification behind each connection in each relationship is so different but viable.
And you were saying every decision sort of is understandable.
Absolutely.
Okay, brilliant answer. Okay, start. Jonathan, let's talk about how Anthony's search for marriage, is really front and center in this season. But also for you, how did it feel to step up and be the lead of the show this season?
It was thrilling, really exciting, and I always knew that Anthony's story was going to be second. I'd spoken to Chris Van Dusen, the showrunner, about it when I first jumped into the Bridgerton world, and it was just like amazing to obviously. I mean, the first piece of the puzzle was to meet Simone and meet that in a chemistry test, and then to obviously meet Charithra coming in as well, and it just all was just. It required a lot, but it really paid off, and like the psychological element of Anthony has been something that I've always been really interested in.
Oh, brilliant. Yes, you're my grinning. I'm just grinning. Okay. Get to know the Sharma sisters. My goodness, you're just so glorious. And let's start with you, Simone. Tell us about how you got the role. And are you ready for your life to change as a result of it?
So I got the role it was all quite fast. It was a bit of a whirlwind. I actually was filming season 3 of Sex Education at the time, and I'd heard about the show and everyone was talking about it. And it started off with getting a message from my manager, there's a role and they're interested in you, to audition tapes, Zooms, chemistry test. And then by day 14, it was announced. So it was quite blink. And then I was in the makeup chair getting a makeup test and a wig fitted. And then meeting Charithra. So it was a whirlwind. And just super grateful to have spent last year in particular with these two and the rest of the amazing cast and crew, fulfilling what a wonderful story. Yeah.
And how about that life change? I mean, there's going to be so much focus on you, and we love you already. And, you're going to be in the public eye so very much more. Are you ready for that?
I guess so. I think I'd just like to focus on being good at my work, continuing to grow. And I think me taking on this role, yes, it's representing a minority, and I hope that I can just continue to open space and share that space with other bad South Asian actors, influencers. I think that's what it's about, sharing space.
Yeah, I agree. And I love it so much. I love the representation. Let's just talk very briefly about your character. Kate, she's not like any of the other women on this show. Why do you think she'll be a fan favorite, and how is it empowering for you to play her?
I think, I guess what we all love about Kate is, yes, she can be slightly controversial. She's opinionated, and she's a bit fierce. But I think it all comes hand in hand with her soft heart and vulnerability, and I think her priority and values in life are her family and her sister, for one. So yeah, I think when someone's got good values and intentions, that's kind of the root of someone, I think, who has a likable personality. Preference. There we go. Yeah.
There he is. Anthony stepped up and helped.
Always. We got this.
Yeah. I love it. The chivalry. Yes. Thank you. Charithra, let's talk about the audition process for you. What was that like for you?
So I auditioned before the first season came out. So I didn't really know what the show was about. And my agent sort of attached a trailer of the show. And he was like, I think this is going to be really big. Have a look. And then, as the audition process went on, I was actually committed to another TV show. And I was like, I don't know if the timings are going to work. And my agent was like, just audition. We'll figure it out. And actually my contract went through the day before the table read for episode 1 and 2. So it was like really down to the wire to make sure that, especially with COVID, dates and locations could all work. But what's funny is obviously all of our costumes are couture. They're perfectly made for our measurements. So the costume department in Bridgerton were very good friends with the costume department in the other show I was doing. So they all shared my measurements and they all knew about Bridgerton way before I did. So like, I think it's quite funny to think that they all sort of knew this little big secret.
Yeah.
And I had no idea, and I was just sort of roaming around.
But it's brought back a memory. It was a white knuckle ride because for both of you, you had to be seduced out of previous contracts. Because you were locked in something as well. Yeah. And the thing about Shondaland is that with the casting, they get so right, is that much like I'm sure with these sweeping love stories, you get knocked off your feet. And both these amazing women knocked Shondaland off their feet, and so they had to get them. So it was brilliant. But they knew what they wanted, and they got the best.
I love it.